and even Uber put out a statement, you should always check the license plate, the make and model of the car. It's easy for me to take the tags off and put it on another vehicle. You should also look at the driver. Does my driver look like the driver that's driving the car? In addition to that, if you feel uncomfortable, you can say, can I see your driver's license? When you get into any other car service, like taxis or limousines, you'll always see them that they have their permit or their IDs up front. So you can do that. So that way you can match the Uber driver to the person who's driving. Want to give it to you, get out.
Okay, great advice.
I've had some really uncomfortable experiences once I've already been inside an Uber. Twice I've had a driver fall asleep. I've had drivers yell if I ask to like turn down the volume to take a phone call or something. If you're already in a position where you are inside a car with someone who's driving, what can you do at that point?
So in this scenario, like we saw with the influencer, if they lock you in, because they control the windows and the locks. There's something called a window puncher or glass puncher. It's great. I have it on my keys. My husband has it on his keys. You actually take it and you put it at the bottom of the window. You just push it and it breaks the window.
You can find it online.
You can find it anywhere. It's very easy. Keep it on your keys. That's what I would do. It's the best thing to carry. As far as like other things like mace, you could. The only problem with like a pepper spray or mace is if you spray them, it's going to come back to you. So I love the window, the glass puncher. Just have it on your keys, non-invasive. It even cuts off seatbelts if you need it.
Oh, that's great.
And a good reminder for folks, sometimes don't accept the water or the snacks or whatever's in that car because you don't know if they've been tampered with. We've been seeing reports on social media of that too. Evie Poumpouras, thank you so much for always helping us stay safe.
Absolutely.
And stay right here. You are watching NBC News Daily.
Can a cooking oil reduce cholesterol? Yes, rice bran oil can. It is rich in gamma-oryzanol that reduces cholesterol. Alpha-1 in Asia and Golden Terra, Smart Balance oil in Africa help reduce cholesterol. Heart Healthy Oil, the smart choice.
Trust Nivea Perfect and Radiant Body Lotion to reveal your skin's natural radiance.
Hi guys, my name is Joyce. I've been using Wakana for the past 3 years and it has been an amazing and stress-free experience. So February this year, during Valentine's celebration, I wanted to have a spectacular experience. I wanted to go somewhere people don't normally go and still have a great experience. So I contacted Wakana and they suggested Egypt. At first I was like, no, I don't want to be seeing old buildings and all that. That is not my vibe. They were like, no, that I should try it and see. Egypt is underrated. Like, Wakana made me see parts of Egypt that is not even advertised. It's beautiful. They have a whole Maldives in Egypt. Like, I'm someone that I do things on my own, like book my flight, choose my destination and my hotel. But with Wakana, it was a whole different experience. I enjoyed paying for the comfort they gave me, no hassles at the airport. Everything was like a smooth ride. I just got to my destination and relaxed. If you're someone that you don't like stress, you don't want to be burdened by, you just want to carry your bag and travel, contact Wakana.
Good music has elements of good structure. Within certain structure, you add innovation. Great music has to affect your emotions, make you smile, make you cry. It has to be fulfilling in different ways. Finely tuned sounds often uplift your spirit and leave you wanting more. Cloud9, your symphony in the sky from Ethiopia.
We have all seen natural disasters like floods, tornadoes, and hurricanes ravage the country. But hail is much more common and can be much more costly, with billions of dollars in damages each year.
In fact, meteorologists say that hailstorms are already difficult to predict and that recent cuts by the Trump administration are making the job even harder. NBC News climate reporter Chase Kane spoke with a team of scientists who's taking matters into its own hands to study the storms and really better understand the mysteries of hail.
For millions of Americans, sound. Might as well be a cash register because hail costs Americans $10 to $15 billion every year. Once it grows to an inch or larger, it becomes especially destructive, shattering car windshields, flattening crops, and turning roofs into Swiss cheese.
I feel sorry for a lot of the homeowners in North Texas. I feel like we just keep getting hit every year.
In fact, nearly half of all home insurance claims are caused by wind and hail. And it's tricky for meteorologists to forecast because there hasn't been dedicated research into hail in nearly 50 years until now. Dozens of scientists just spent 6 weeks driving 14 specially rigged trucks into storms like this, scooping up more than 10,000 hailstones, positioning mobile radars, and launching balloons into the wind to collect data, the real-life inspiration for Hollywood.
These sensors take scientific measurements.
We have these instruments called hail sods. It's almost like from the movie Twister, that if we can track that sensor with time, understand the exact path, the exact trajectory that a hailstone takes, and really at the end of the day make better hail forecasts.
Victor Gensini is one of the lead scientists on IceChip, and his team's goal is to better understand the details of exactly what inside a storm creates certain types and sizes of hail.
So how does hail form? Well, if we imagine a ping pong ball is ice already forming a hailstone, and this hair dryer is going to be the winds rushing up from the surface into the storm. It's known as the updraft. The hail is going to be held up in the storm by the updraft, and it's going to get bounced around, sometimes chaotically, 20, even 50,000 feet in the air. And that hail is going to stay up there. It's going to keep getting bigger and bigger until the updraft just can't support the hail anymore, and then it falls to the surface. So if we are getting golf ball or baseball or even soccer ball size hail here at the surface, just imagine how strong those winds were up in the cloud.
And that part has Gensini and other scientists concerned because their latest research shows that climate change will make updrafts even stronger, which could make the biggest, most destructive hail up to 75% larger, an especially concerning statistic for farmers fearing for their fields.
It could be the end of the crop, or we've seen flatten to the ground, both flags.
These two farmers were on their way to check their crops after hail the night before. Wow. The exact reason the IceChip team picked this part of eastern Montana. Before the storm, researchers Karen Kasiba and Josh Werman positioned the mobile radar here. It's called a COW, C-band on wheels, and it gives them a detailed look at the hail inside a storm. And equipment like that in places like this,
let this person go through,
definitely gets attention.
No, we were out here for the hail last night.
Terrified because a couple miles that way is where like a tornado touched down. I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna die.
So everybody's really concerned about the weather, and being out in a lot of these areas that we're studying these hailstorms, there's a lot of agriculture that's going on. There are crops, machinery, getting stuff into shelter. So there's a lot of economic ties to the weather.
And the ability to pay for research like this in the future is in doubt. The National Science Foundation funded this fieldwork last fall, just before President Biden left office. Now the Trump administration is slashing NSF funding by more than half. The White House telling NBC News in part that NOAA is committed to providing gold standard research and data for the American people. But all the scientists I talked to say that's impossible with such drastic cuts to the NSF, warning Americans' safety could be threatened.
There's going to be no improvement in forecasts. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we suffer as a country because we don't invest in basic fundamental research.
When we're out here collecting the data, we hope that people see that the connection between this science back in the labs and what's affecting their communities.
And here, where the rubber meets the road, the researchers hoping they can keep the next hailstorm from meeting your wallet. For NBC News Daily, I'm Chase Kane.
Thank you, Chase. I just learned a lot about hail. Right? All right, you are watching NBC News Daily. You can watch us free 24/7 on our streaming network, NBC News Now, wherever you stream, including YouTube, Hulu, Roku, and Peacock. Your news continues right after this.
Yeah.
Try it today and see for yourself. Mini-Me Noodles Niger Pepper flavor. Slap it like it's hot.
Are you praying to God, asking Him to assist you in getting out of debt? Are you patiently waiting for a response from God in your financial life? Allow me to inform you of something. The absence of comprehension regarding biblical principles of financial management is the primary reason behind financial problems. And to help you with that, I created the new season of the Bible Finance Crash Course. There are 28 classes, 100% online, 100% free. In this crash course, I'm going to show you for free, no fine print, no tricks, that it's possible to have your finances under control, get out of the red, and start investing to make God's dreams come true in your life. But in order to participate, all you need to do is sign up for free by clicking here to learn more. So if you were expecting an answer to your prayer, a sign from God for you to make that change, that financial change in your life, click here and sign up for free. I'll see you there.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done in a list view. Next, I set a priority and a due date to keep things on track. I create custom statuses to organize my progress exactly how I want it. I like to add the action items field so AI can show me the next steps. I add my teammates as watchers so they're in the loop. ClickUp makes work easy, from personal projects to running a multi-billion-dollar company. Click the link below to create your workspace for free.
Kivo Krima, Kivo Krima.
Good time moments with Kivo Krima.
Kivo Krima.
Make restaurant-style pasta at home with Admi Pasta Mate. Cook. Mix. Done. Admi Pasta Mate.
Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And is it to
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch. Headlines are served daily.
Welcome back on this Friday. It is 12:30 in Abilene, Texas, and 1:30 in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm Vicki Wynn.
I'm Morgan Radford. Here's what's making news. French President Emmanuel Macron announced his country will recognize Palestine as a state. This is a big deal. It comes amid global anger over people starving right now in Gaza. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the United States strongly rejects the move, claiming that it serves Hamas propaganda and sets back peace.
Disgraced former Congressman George Santos set to report to prison today for his 7-year sentence. The New York Republican pleaded guilty nearly a year ago to wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. Santos wrote a farewell post on X reading, "I may be leaving the stage for now, but trust me, legends never truly exit."
And after 3 decades, the broadcast show E! News will end this year. Employees were notified yesterday morning that the show had been canceled. It will continue airing new episodes until September 25th. E's entertainment network will remain online, and Access Hollywood and Access Daily will continue their broadcasts.
We are following breaking news out of Boston's Fenway Park, where concession workers have begun the first strike in the ballpark's 113-year history. Right now, about 1,000 workers, including cashiers, servers, and souvenir vendors, have walked off the job.
The workers are urging fans to avoid buying any concessions at the ballpark while this strike is in effect. In fact, tonight, the Red Sox are set to take on the LA Dodgers at Fenway, and temperatures are expected to soar into the high 90s while that happens. NBC News correspondent Marquise Francis is following all of this and has been for the past few days. Marquise, thousands of fans are going to be at Fenway, an iconic stadium, not just tonight, but all weekend.
Exactly.
So how could this strike affect those plans?
Yeah, Morgan, I mean, you can't overstate how big of a weekend this is for the Boston Red Sox. Almost equated to a couple months ago when the NJ Transit strikers just in New Jersey striked ahead of Beyonce coming to town, right? Not only is Boston on a hot streak, earlier this month they won 10 straight games, but it's not just any LA Dodgers. This is the defending World Series champs. And so according to Boston and according to Aramark, things will be business as usual, but of course, no concession workers, right? And so probably a lot of long lines, also automated checkout counters. Now, for Aramark's part, they said they do have a contingency plan in place. And I want to put up a full screen and read it in part because they said they're disappointed. In the event of a strike, we have a contingency plans in place to ensure that fans will not encounter service interruptions. But of course, there's so many questions and more questions than answers because what happens when they go and want to get alcohol? Will minors be able to verify who is actually buying things. And what happens when, people are hot. It's hot out there. They want to get water, but they're in this huge, long line. And so a lot of things we know, a lot of things we don't know. At the end of the day, these workers want fair pay, and that's kind of where they're at right now.
Yeah, let's pick it up there, Marquise. 113 years, no strike like this. What else are the workers demanding in addition to higher pay?
Yeah, so the workers haven't striked, as you mentioned, about a century. They have 4 demands. I want to pull them up on the full screen, as you're seeing on the screen. Number 1, they want higher pay. Right now, they're getting hourly around $20 an hour. They want to be on par with other folks in the city they live in, closer to $30 an hour. Also, guardrails on automation. As I mentioned, the automatic checkout counters, they're saying they're getting less tips because of those. And also, they don't want to be replaced by machines. Third, increased tips for premium workers and scheduling that respects seniority. I spoke to a union rep earlier today, and she mentioned that there's workers who have been there decades. The most senior person, 50 years. And these people are the ones who love working there, but they don't have a livable wage in the city they all love.
Yeah, all right. Marquise Francis, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
President Donald Trump has signed a new executive order targeting name, image, and likeness payments for college athletes. The White House says it aims to curb bidding wars that have exploded in college recruiting. The order says that recent court rulings have dismantled recruiting and transfer rules and have, quote, created a chaotic environment that threatens the financial and structural viability of college athletics. NBC News White House correspondent Yamiche Alcindor joins me now. Yamiche, there are just some of these legendary coaches, right? Think about Alabama football coach Nick Saban. They're praising the move. What does this order effectively do? And just big picture, what type of impact or scope of impact could it have?
Well, as you said, President Trump says he signed this executive order to curb big money influence in college sports. His argument, and that is the argument also of those coaches that are really happy about this order. Now, according to the White House, the order does a number of things, including prohibiting, quote, third-party pay-for-play payments to collegiate athletes. The order says it does not apply to what the president is calling legitimate fair market value compensation that a third party provides to an athlete. That is including brand endorsements, which I think is a big question here. There's still, though, a lot of uncertainty when it comes to impact. As of now, it is not clear how this order would be enforced or what mechanisms are even in place to ensure revenue is shared more equitably between men's sports, women's sports, and non-revenue generating sports. Morgan?
That was my question, whether it would affect women's sports, potentially even in the future as it continues. Yamiche Alcindor. Yamiche, thank you.
Well, there is new fallout today from that viral Coldplay Kiss Cam incident. The HR executive of a billion-dollar tech company who appeared to be cuddling with the CEO, she has resigned from her position. This comes just over a week after that video made headlines across the world and inspired hundreds of memes. NBC News correspondent Aaron McLaughlin has the details.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two.
New fallout in the so-called Coldplay Gate. Astronomer's chief people officer Kristen Cabot resigning, according to the company. Just days after the tech firm announced Andy Byron, the company's CEO, stepped down.
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
The pair were spotted on a kiss cam gone wrong last week during a Coldplay concert in Boston. The two separating from an apparent embrace.
You're okay? Oh, what?
The now viral moment sending social media into a frenzy.
I would have gone if I knew that that was going to happen. Imagine being able to see that live.
From Coldplay cams at stadiums to reenactments showing something like this.
Oh, she choked!
Chris Martin even giving fans a playful warning at a recent concert.
Is we're going to use our cameras and put some of you on the screen. So please, you haven't done your makeup. Do your makeup now.
The incident also raising questions about what should be private and what's not.
Coldplay needs to think about what they did because they should have never called out that couple the way that they did.
Through all the internet roasting, the tech firm Astronomer says it's been investigating the incident. Writing in a statement, our leaders are expected to set the standard in both conduct and accountability. And recently, that standard was not met. The company that was unexpectedly thrust into the global spotlight announcing an interim CEO earlier this week, just days after Byron's resignation, who wrote in a statement, "We have never shied away from challenges. A near decade of building this business has tested us time and time again, and each time we've emerged stronger." Aaron McLaughlin, NBC News.
That story just keeps on giving. Listen, New York City Mayor Eric Adams announcing a $1 million investment today to help increase capacity at the city's biggest shelter. Now, all of this comes after the shelter said it reached a breaking point and does not have the room to take in any more pets. NBC News correspondent Maya Eaglin shows us what exactly is behind the growing crisis.
The animal shelters in New York City are practically bursting at the seams, filled with cats, dogs, rabbits, and other critters.
We hit a population of 1,000 animals. That has never happened before.
Animal Care Center shelters in New York City says they're being forced to use overflow rooms and backup crates because too many people are returning their pets.
So Rocky was our 1,000th animal.
Why are folks giving up their pets?
The main reason for pet surrender is I can't afford it. Vet care is expensive, food is expensive. I mean, just human cost of living is expensive.
Risa Weinstock oversees ACC's 3 NYC shelters, which announced on July 18th that they won't be taking any more animals.
When we put out that message, over the weekend, we still took in 200 animals. So we're open for intake for emergencies, but we are asking the public to work with us to slow down what is coming in.
Prices for kibble, leashes, and other pet goods have 22% since 2019, while pet services like grooming and vet visits have gone up 42%.
This isn't just a New York City problem. There were over 5.8 million animals in shelters nationwide in 2024.
Shelters in Arizona, Virginia, and Tennessee also feeling the squeeze.
The interesting thing that we're seeing is that the length of stay, so the time that animals are spending in the shelter, is increasing year over year.
Weinstock says animals can stay in their shelters for just a few days or up to several months.
When you have to make that choice of putting an animal down, how does that decision come to be?
Not easy. Euthanasia is the last choice. They will get sick. It's too many to be housing all the time. We don't want to warehouse them, but when we see signs of deterioration, we really need to make some hard decisions.
For those who want to help, Weinstock says volunteering, fostering, or adopting your next pet from a shelter can help chip away at the problem. They also give pet food and veterinarian resources to families in need.
Even if it's just one animal who we said, if we give you food for a month and you can pay your electricity, would that help you take your dog or your cat home? And they say yes, and they're crying because we were able to keep that pet with them. That's a good day.
A desperate plea to finding a loving home for these furry friends that have so much love to give. Maya Eaglin, NBC News, New York.
Maya, thank you. McDonald's is rolling out a fresh menu of coffee drinks, refreshers, and flavored sodas to 500 restaurants this summer. And they're not the only chain using beverages to lure people back in. NBC News correspondent Emily Ikeda has more on the fast food drink wars.
Hey there. Well, first we had the chicken wars, then the snack wrap battle. Now the food titans are facing off in a duel over drinks. It's part of an effort to boost slumping sales for some businesses as Americans are increasingly making summer sips their go-to snack.
The brand famous for its burgers, nuggets, and most recently, snack wraps,
Please thank these people for bringing the snack wrap back.
is now hoping to make a McMajor splash in the beverage industry, announcing a new drinks at select stores, including creamy vanilla cold brew, strawberry watermelon refresher, and Sprite Lunar Splash, in a colorful attempt to catch the eye of younger generations in particular.
Well, one of the things going on is consumers are not eating 3 full meals a day. They're a little bit more likely to get a beverage.
Jonathan Mays is the editor-in-chief of Restaurant Business Magazine and says a fan favorite, so-called dirty sodas, popularized on social media and reality TV.
My soda order is very specific. 44-ounce sparkling water with sugar-free vanilla, sugar-free raspberry, sugar-free pineapple, and coconut cream. Chef's kiss.
It's not McDonald's first go at the beverage biz. Despite long lines initially for its drink-focused spin-off Cosmix, it closed all of the stores this year, instead bringing some of those sips to its existing McDonald's locations as other companies mix up their own summer menus.
I think I know what you're really craving. A strawberry daydream refresher.
Dunkin' Donuts partnering with pop star Sabrina Carpenter to launch its new summer beverage, while Taco Bell adding mocktails called Refrescas to its menus nationwide, and Chick-fil-A and Wendy's also not missing a beat with their own cold creations. It comes as inflation-weary consumers who have pulled back on spending at some major chains are still hot on specialty drinks, with sales at beverage and snack-focused restaurant chains up more than 9.5% in 2024.
Beverages are much more profitable than selling hamburgers or fries. And if you can get people to come in a couple of times a week for a beverage, that is a big win for a restaurant chain like McDonald's.
McDonald's is rolling out the test beverage lineup in September at 500 of its restaurants, mainly in Wisconsin and Colorado. As for the timing, they say they're seeing a real momentum, especially with flavorful drinks as a go-to. Great. Back to you.
Emily, thank you. An alarming trend that the medical community concerned why skinny talk is growing in popularity online. Plus, what parents can do to help boost body confidence in their kids. That's coming up next. More NBC News Daily. You don't want to miss it.
Gamma Oryzanol in rice bran oil reduces cholesterol. Heart healthy oil, the smart choice.